Turn the camera on, don't overthink it, put out the content. That's the gist of everything that you're going to need to get to where you need to go. I'm not the first person to tell you this. I'm not the first person to tell you consistency is key. I'm not the first person to tell you that you have to keep at this every single day if this is what you truly want in order to break free from monotony, right? I'm not the first person to tell you this. I may not be the last person to tell you this. You probably have to go through a few more people because listen, I know you're probably watching this video, you're looking like Dollar Water, you only got 100 something subscribers, depending on when you're watching this. Right now I've got about 150 or so subscribers on YouTube. I've got a few thousand views on my videos this week. I'm pretty proud of myself for that. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm not where you would like me to be able to tell you what you need to do in order to expand your brand, but I hope you take this as a lesson as somebody that's right now actively doing what it is you're trying to do. This video found you for a reason, and it's probably because you're in the same boat as me. So I'm going to say again, turn the camera on, don't overthink, put out the content, right? There are so many ways you can go about doing it. However you choose to do it, there's no wrong answer, right? There's no wrong answer. You can't be, I put too much time in my Instagram versus my YouTube versus my Twitter versus my whatever. Well, did you post every day? Did you film the content? Did you not overthink? Did you put it out? Right? If you did that, there's no wrong answers. It takes longer for some than it does for others. Not everybody's got it like that, right? I ain't got no tick, no clout, no pull, nothing like that. I have a very small circle. I know people like to hyperbolize what their circles are like. But when I say my circle is small, my circle is small. I do mean that. I can count on one hand the amount of people in real life I would call friends. Online, it's a little bit different. I've been streaming and making videos long enough to where, I've got a decent amount of people that I can fall back on. But for the most part, I occupy what I feel like is a below average circle of people. And it doesn't matter, right? I'm going to get to that point where I have a much larger following, much larger support system. But for right now, I'm working toward it. I'm working towards my 1,000 fans because that's all it takes. I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you that as well. So it's a well-studied theory that goes back, I don't even know how long. When I was in high school, I heard about it. You only need 1,000 supporters to change your life, right? The first sale is the hardest sale. All these things that you hear from all of these success gurus and everything, I'm getting ready to tell you these same things. Maybe it means something more to you because it's not coming from somebody that, was born in money, has millions of subscribers telling you the little things that you need to do. Maybe it means more. Hopefully I'm here to help. But here are the things that I'm currently learning about what it's going to take to get to that next level as far as content creation, as far as branding myself as a hip-hop artist in 2025 in the world of AI and everything, right? There are, and at this point, an infinite amount of tools to help you. The tools that I utilize the most: YouTube, CapCut, ChatGPT. These are that's my holy trinity right there. I have, at this point in my life, approaching mid-30s, out here competing with the people I'm competing with. Or maybe I shouldn't look at it as competition more so than trying to stand out in an oversaturated market, whatever that means. What I have found that you have to replace a lot of the habits that you have with better habits, right? I struggle with a lot of things, social media addiction, among other things. You're just doom scrolling, you're consuming content that just isn't helping you. You know what I mean? So there's a couple ways to go about this, but I really love podcasts. I'm a huge fan of the Joe Budden podcast. Here's the Thing, Brilliant Idiots Need to Know, Rory and Mal, No Jumper, Gillian Wallow, $1 Million Worth of Game, Drink Champ, all these podcasts, right? They're entertaining. Don't get me wrong. I love them. I've been listening to podcasts since 2016, almost 10 years. This same, collective of podcasts. And I kind of branch out to other things, I might listen to John Hope Bryan or something like that. Deeply Unwell, these kind of podcasts, right? But for the most part, a bulk of my time in this space is spent as a consumer. And it's not good, right? Especially if you're trying to reach towards something. If you have concrete goals that you're trying to hit, which is where I'm at now in my life, then I have to reevaluate my relationship with a lot of this stuff. What I tried for the last year and a half, which hasn't worked for me, it's about how long I've been out here trucking. What hasn't worked for me is trying to remove this stuff, right? So I tell myself, delete the podcast apps, uninstall the apps, delete the accounts, do all of this, right? If you have nothing positive to replace it with, it leaves a big gaping hole in here. I don't know if I need to pause that, but it's not a pleasant feeling. Nobody should want to go through that, right? So what did I do? Right? I'm driving the truck. I have a benefit that a lot of people don't have, which is my job allows me anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day to listen and learn, right? I don't have to do anything active. I spend 99% of the time just holding this steering wheel, which means that I am free to consume or learn as much as I can. So what I said was, instead of telling myself not to consume content, why don't I change the content that I'm consuming, right? So I started a separate YouTube page, clear up my algorithm, right? No more toxicity, no more this person's baby mama and this rapper got killed and RIP to this legend and all this stuff. And I started following people like Earn Your Leisure. You know what I mean? It's still within the same realm, but it's benefited me, right? Because these people, they're on the same podcast I just mentioned. Wall Street Trapper, another good example. But now I'm learning something new, right? I'm not just listening for entertainment anymore. I'm still being entertained, but now I'm learning how to day trade. I'm learning about life insurance and how I can set my family up and all of these things, right? So I've replaced these podcasts, not completely, I still tap in, with learning podcasts, right? So that's one thing that I think will benefit a lot of us, right? Instead of removing, focus on replacing. That has helped me exponentially. Like the amount of things that I've learned, the whole reason that I'm doing this right now is literally, I wish maybe I'll tag her in the description. I don't remember her name, but in the midst of like watching all these videos, I found someone who had very recently started to see success after years of posting. You know, I think she does more so lifestyle content, you know, focused on like diet and, you know, yoga, like all that, you know, the positive baddie stuff, right? And she just one day just started going live on YouTube, and she kept doing it. She kept doing it every single day. And what she noticed is, oh, wow, if you do this consistently, YouTube rewards you for that. TikTok rewards you for that. Instagram rewards you for that, right? But you have to show them, I'm here, I'm consistent. You can expect me at a certain time every single, like when you train the algorithm reworks itself to your benefit, right? If you show it that I'm just here to consume content, well, that's what it's going to do. It's going to send you useless notifications and all of that. But if you, well, I want to focus on putting out the content, the way that it gives you notifications are different, right? If you stop being a consumer and start producing content, now your notifications are so-and-so commented on your video, so-and-so shared your post, because they just want you on the apps, right? By any means. So if you're not consuming and you're producing, well, then we need to push your content out there more so that people interact to get you to stay on our app for longer, right? That's why I started doing horizontal videos. I stayed vertical for the longest, you know, and it kind of limits what you can do on certain platforms. But for YouTube, long form content, this is the way to go. And now that TikTok is starting to do the same, you know, I've watched 40-minute videos on TikTok before of people teaching me the same stuff that I'm trying to learn. So all that to say, turn the camera on, don't overthink, and put out the content. Because You know how many videos is probably going to take me to where I'm comfortable? Like already in the week that I've really been focusing on this and rewatching the videos and learning, like if you go back to the last few videos I posted, you'll notice that like when I'm talking to you guys, I'm looking over here, I'm looking over there, and I'm not really conscious of what's going on, right? So just in this week, I'm like, oh, I've watched the videos I've already picked up on. I need to be focused right here on y'all. I don't need to be looking around and what's going on around me. You guys are my focus, right? And just take more time to gather my thoughts before I just go. Because I could see like I'm getting uncomfortable, I'm getting nervous, I'm yapping, I'm going all over the place. And I'm probably still going to do that here. And it's going to take time. The only way that I'm going to get better at this is by being consistent and not worrying about everything being perfect. Don't worry about the background noise. Don't worry about what's going on around me. Don't worry about how stupid I look. Like I've gotten more comfortable even recording things outside. I have a trainee on my truck. You know what I mean? Recording things like, hey, you on the truck? Listen, just let you know I'm about to do this. I would let the smallest things, I'm a little bit tired. Oh, I feel like I'm a little goofy if I do this. All that is gone because now I realize what it's going to take for me to get where I need to go, which is those 3 things I'm going to keep telling you throughout this whole video. Just do it. You'll get more comfortable talking, right? I'm going to be honest with you. I just turned the camera on. If I could show you the behind the scenes, it's really only 3 seconds. So I sit in this chair, I'll put my phone on the tripod and I press record. I don't know what I'm about to talk about. Or maybe I have a general idea. If I heard something in a podcast, I'm like, I should make a video about that. But that's about as much thought as I give it. I don't sit there and plan out a script and write down talking points and worry about how I'm going to chop it up. I just press record. And if it's not good, it's not good. But you guys decide that, not me. I'm not the person that gets to decide that. When I get down the line and I have a bigger brand and I have a reputation, then I can start worrying about that. But for right now, I just got to get the content out to y'all and stay consistent. That's it. These algorithms don't reward quality at your level. They reward consistency. So, yeah, it's going to take posting 2-3 times a day, maybe. I'll report back to y'all on that. But that's my understanding. You're going to have to post multiple times a day. Videos longer than a minute on platforms that will allow you to do that in their preferred format, right? TikTok obviously likes vertical videos. If you're making YouTube shorts, they have to be vertical. If you're making YouTube, you're going to want to be horizontal. X can be a mixture, but generally you're going to want to be horizontal, right? Instagram, you want to be vertical. Like you want to take time to learn these things, but don't focus so much on trying to learn everything and say, okay, I got all the knowledge. Now I'll start. Like get out there and go. Same with music. If I was focused on, oh, okay, I need to wait until I'm the best rapper before I record a verse. You see what I'm saying? You see how backwards that sounds? Versus, okay, let me keep writing, let me keep recording on the mic, let me keep doing this, keep doing that, and over time, I will become who I know I can be. You just got to do it, dog. Point blank, period. That's all I'm here to tell you. No, I don't have an idea of what I'm going to talk about when I turn this camera on. And then as the video goes on, I get more comfortable and I start figuring out things. And, you know, I start reminiscing live in front of all of you. And you guys get to see that. You get to see the development. So whether you're watching this video when I upload it today or years down the line, you know, people years down the line will get to appreciate, wow, this is where that guy started. Y'all that are following me today and are along on the journey be like, wow, like, look how far you've come. That's what it's about, for me at least. Maybe you feel differently. You're going to need to know and get comfortable with using AI. That's just the name of the game. Don't fight it. Use it to your benefit. Pay the subscriptions. I pay for YouTube Premium. I pay for CapCut. I pay for Chat GPT, right? You don't have to actually pay for GPT, but if you have no idea what to talk about, what to do, how to market, instead of maybe watching videos on how to do these things, ask GPT. I've literally trained mine. Listen, you are my social media marketing manager. Create 50 ideas for content for a 30-something hip-hop artist who's also a trucker from the South, who has limited amount of time to live stream and isn't in the best recorded. Like, you can get super detailed and creative with who Chat GPT understands you to be and who you want the GPT to be, right? Like, at this point, it talks to me like one of the homies. You know, at first it's like, all right, here are 10 steps that you can do as a successful entrepreneur, da 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 da. Now it's like, okay, yo, that's dope. It talks like me now, because that's what I want. I don't want you to give it to me like a professor. Give it to me like one of the homies, right? Utilize ChatGPT to your benefit. I've got a list of hashtags. I've got a list of video ideas. You can use it to create logos and thumbnails. You can use it to create slogans for you, LLC ideas. Hey, I ran into an issue here. You know, I'm trying to get my song copywritten, but they're saying this. Like, use it to your benefit. Don't fight it. Use it. Use it to create your artwork. Nobody cares no more. When it first came out, you're going to have people that are snobs. Oh, you know, you're taking money out of the hands of the true artists out there. The true artists are using AI. Let's be real about it. That doesn't take away from their talent just because they're using it, but yeah, it is a thing. You should utilize it more. Use it to create videos. You ever been on YouTube and see these videos? It'll be the most random stuff, and it's put together so poorly with the worst voiceovers. Those people are getting money. These faceless YouTube channels, these people are getting paid for that because they're utilizing AI. They don't even care that the information is inaccurate. You'll Google some stuff and it'll be like, oh, Will Smith, father of Zendaya and Tobey Maguire, was born December 1st, 1987 to parents Phil Jackson and Shaka Khan. Like, the information just be completely wrong, right? And it's still getting hundreds of thousands of plays, and whoever owns the account is getting paid one way or another. It don't matter if the information's right or not. Hey, ChatGPT, make me a video right quick, or whatever service you choose to use. It doesn't have to be GPT. There's plenty of services out there. People are getting paid. It doesn't matter if the information is accurate or not. People are making digital avatars. Bro, I know people that are having ChatGPT write entire ebooks for them. They're not even authors, right? And these are, I ain't gonna use the word, but these are younger dudes who don't have the best language skills, utilizing AI to make an ebook on something that they're knowledgeable about but necessarily don't know how to put it together. And that's not instant. It's gonna take some time, but it's gonna be a hell of a lot quicker than if you were to do it. You know, we're talking about a few hours compared to, you know, weeks to put a course together. Use AI to your benefit. Don't run from it. Film the content. What I'm learning from homies, like my homie, The Real Prop on Instagram, YouTube. Cool dude. What I learned from him, motherfucker just turns the camera on. He be at a gas station, rapping his songs, singing his songs. You know, he's got great music, so that helps a lot. But all I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be crazy. You know, I got a new phone, not because, well, no, I want my content to look better, but also my back camera didn't work, right? My front camera was a little cracked. Like, if the sun hit it the right way, it just didn't look good. So I got a new phone, right? But you don't even need all that. You have a phone because you're watching this video, or you got a laptop or something. When I stream on Twitch or YouTube half the time, I'm just using the MacBook webcam. If you've got a MacBook from, you know, 2019 like mine is, you know that webcam is ass. Unless you have the most immaculate lighting setup, it's not good. But hey, nobody cares. They're here to get their songs heard. They're here to get reviews. They're here to get song requests. They're here to see me freestyle, right? They don't care about the quality, but it does help, right? So when I got homies like Prop that are throwing up what seems like 30 million videos a day of him going over the same part of the same song and drilling it in your brain, I learned from that, because he's got a following that I'm like, I want a piece of that, right? Not on no hater stuff, but it's like, okay, I see young dude out here making moves in my state. I like what he's doing. You know, I've had the pleasure of hearing a lot of unreleased music. My man has 800 songs. Let that be a example for a lot of you artists. I'm not that type of artist, and that's not taken away from people that are, right? It takes me a while to make a song. I'm working on that though. You know, had a conversation with my homie Big Label the other day. As long as I've been rapping, which has been since like 2011, I can still learn. You know, I'm a bit of a purist, so I don't like to do the punch in thing, but I'm learning at this point, if I want to get to where I want to get, I'm gonna have to learn to do that. I'm gonna have to learn to write on the spot, right? I'm gonna have to learn to write a line, don't think too much about it, go. I can always go back and re-record. Until the song's released out into the world, you got time to work on it. So when I see homies like Prop got 800 unreleased songs, finished too, not like just concepts and thoughts and pieces, it's mixed, ready to go. Hopefully I ain't getting him in trouble for that. It's inspiring. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, because at any point, think about it like this. He's got a greater chance of one of these songs identifying with someone in a real way to change his life forever if he's got 800 songs to come to whoever it is. I got 800 of these things. You gonna like one of these versus someone like me that maybe got 50 to 100. I got a bank. My chances are, I've had a 1 in 2 chance. It's either yes or no, but yes or no 50 times or 800 times. You get me? Consistency is how you get where you're trying to go. You gotta do it, bro. You gotta put the money in. I'm gonna tell you another thing. As far as the money, just try it. Try some of these. Stop spending money. I gotta be careful here because I'm gonna bite myself in the foot because I benefit from this too. But stop spending money in feedback streams to get your song played a little bit earlier, because all it's doing is just scratching whatever itch needs to be scratched. It's just a quicker dopamine hit, right? If you're not utilizing that money to put you in position for something, then save your money. $10 could be spent on a YouTube ad or an Instagram ad. You know what I mean? Do something that's going to get you more results, because getting played half an hour sooner to get your song heard, just for them to be like, you know, it's cool, you know, here's what you could work on, da 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 da, and then that's it. You know what I mean? You're playing your music in front of a room of people who are also there. It's almost like when I used to do showcases and the whole crowd is just artists waiting to perform. Do you want that? Or do you want to spend $10 to get your music in front of 1,000 new eyes? Maybe only 10 of them become supporters in some kind of way, but they're new eyes, right? And I don't want to take money out of the mouth of people that do that, because I know a lot of you really do benefit from that because you have something. But let's be honest, successful artists are 1%. The other 99% don't need to be doing that. And I've done it. I'm guilty of it. I still do it in certain cases. If I feel like I got something and I need it heard from a specific person that I know isn't just going to be like, yeah, cool song, and that should give me like real feedback, I'll spend that 10, I'll spend that 7, I'll spend that 15, whatever the case is. But there are better ways, you know what I mean? My YouTube subscription is $8 a month. You know, I got a student account, right? So whenever I find myself like, I don't know if I got enough money to pay for this thing, that's what you got to do. And that's really it. Hopefully this helps y'all out, but if not, I understand it. Y'all been real. I've been Dollar Water. Peace.